Hi, Diane Lundy here with another food demonstration for the Rapides Parish Library. This is a series of Diane's Delights Recipes to Love. Keeping with the Easter season, today we're going to do an Easter bunny cake. Now this cake is very easy to make. You simply bake a cake really of any flavor you want, but I would recommend the white cake or the yellow cake into 2 round cake pans. The first one we're going to leave as diagram A. This will be the whole layer, which will be the bunny's face. And then we will cut the second layer into 3 pieces. The middle of it will be the bow tie, and then these 2 pieces here will be the ears for the bunny. And we're going to frost those and put some coconut for the bunny's fur and jelly bean eyes, nose, and licorice mouth and whiskers. Yeah. Okay, we'll use our little diagram because I'm just getting all confused with that. All right. We will put our toothpicks here. And then let me move it over here like this. And put those here. All right. Now, I brought my best knife, which is non-serrated. I would advise using that. You just simply make a straight cut through the cake on each side. I'm going to have to rotate this around a little bit so I can get the right angle. Get my toothpick out of the way. And then we just cut across here. Take our toothpicks out. That's the middle of the bow tie. All right. Now we do the same thing here. Make a cut straight down. Move these toothpicks out of the way. And another cut straight on this side. And we take our toothpick and we make our little cut across here. Take all the toothpicks out. We don't need those anymore. And now we hope we can pick it up. Okay, let me put the bow tie down here. And the ears, with my diagram. The ears go up here like this. And it's kind of hard to do it without getting crumbs everywhere. All right, now we are going to frost this, kind of bring your layers together so they're all connected, with our can of fluffy white frosting. I think they said fluffy white frosting because it's sticky, and the coconut will stick to it better. Kind of run your spatula around in it, and then very gently put it on the bunny. As you can see, we do have a lot of crumbs here. And I'm afraid if I start brushing those away, our coconut will cover this up anyhow. I'm afraid if I start brushing the crumbs away, we'll end up with too many crumbs. Work from the inside to the outside, and we're going to have to add a little more most likely. But I'm trying to make sure I have enough. And of course, if you bake your cake at home, you will not have the crumb problem because you will not have it stuck to the foil. Let me get a paper towel over here. There's some of those crumbs. Okay. I think I should have brought 2 cans of this frosting because it is rather hard to spread. Well, we're just not going to worry about the crumbs because the coconut's going to cover that up anyway. We'll just go ahead and keep working with that. Pushing it out towards the edge. Somehow I thought the fluffy frosting would be a little fluffier than this. Of course, you could make your own if you want to. Now, you could use another flavor of frosting if you want cream cheese, but it's probably not going to be as sticky as the fluffy frosting. Well, you see there what happens when we pull back. Trying to push out. Get all the way out to the edges. Now, I'm just going to do the top right now because I'm not sure if we're going to have enough to do the sides. Okay, let's try for the ears. And if we have any left, we will come back and try to cover up our mistakes. And I'm going to brush these crumbs away if I can. Let's see. Get those out of the way. All right, just keep working with it. Now for the other ear. And try to put some in the slots where it's joined. Now, this is one cake you can let the kids help you with, depending on their ages. But this could be a lot of fun for them at Easter. Now for the bow tie, we're getting down close to the end of the frosting now. I think if I make this cake at home, I may buy 2 cans of this, because it is not going as far as I thought it would. But just so we can get it across the layers, and then we're going to use our coconut to disguise all of our little problems here. As I said, remember, if you make this at home, you'll probably not have this crumb problem. But I really did not have enough of the nonstick foil to wrap this in last night. That's why I had to use the regular. Okay, cover up your cracks. And let's see if we can get the rest of this off of here. Oops. Okay, carry it out to the edges. Well, she'll left well enough alone there, but it'll it'll work. Now we're going to sprinkle our coconut on. If you have enough frosting, you can also go around the edges, but in this case, we just don't. So we will just do the top of the cake. The kids won't care. as long as I get to eat it. That's what they care about. Okay, let me get another pair of gloves. These are all sticky. Doing this with gloves is not easy, but we want to be extra cautious since this is a demonstration and other people are going to be eating it. I think my hands are starting to sweat and the gloves don't want to go on. Okay, hold on a second. I almost got it. Well, I think my hands are bigger than they were the first time I put the things on. I'm not having much luck getting my fingers in there. These are not powdered gloves. Let's see. Coconut. All right, we have taken some of our coconut in advance and tinted it. Now, to tint the coconut, you just simply put it in a bowl. Put it in a bowl with maybe 3 tablespoons maximum of water and about 3 or 4 drops of food coloring. And I used a spoon and just mixed it around and then spread it out on some paper towels to dry, and do that on a cooling rack because you do not want to mess up your countertop and permanently stain it, although this is washable. All right, take the coconut and we're going to spread this around on the bunny. As I said, you see there, it covers up all our little mistakes. We'll probably come back in a minute and add a little more. Make sure we have enough. Whoops, too much there. Now, if you have kids that don't like coconut, you could just make this another flavor and just use your frosting, like a brown bunny, for example, and chocolate frosting. But this just gives it that look of, the bunny's fur. And as you can see, covers up all our little mistakes. We're going to use the whole package. Try to get it evenly spread if you can. Need a little bit more right around here. Now at home I wouldn't be using these gloves. Okay. Now of course you want to clean this up before your presentation. Out from around your edges. All right, the middle of the bunny's ears needs to be pink. So we're going to put our pink coconut in the middle of the bunny's ears. And this is probably easier said than done with these gloves on. Let me try doing it like this. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. You may not need all of it. Just depends. But it should be kind of long and narrow shaped. Move that over to the middle. It's kind of hard to do it without dropping some of your pink on there, as you can see. Kind of work with that. Okay. Now we're ready to decorate the rest of the cake. And for that we need jelly beans and licorice. Now I could not find the licorice in the stores. I had to order this on Amazon, and the least amount I could find was 1 pound, which cost about $14, so it is rather expensive. I went ahead and cut the licorice that we're going to need for the bunny's whiskers and mouth. Now you can use jelly beans or gumdrops or spice drops. I could not find any spice drops, so I bought the jelly beans. And basically you can use whatever color you want, but on the picture they use red for the bunny's eyes and nose. Find a red jelly bean. Now it's starting to look like a bunny. Okay, another red one for his nose. I started to pour these out into a bowl, but then I decided, okay, it'll be all right the way it is. There we go. His nose. Okay. Now for the hard part, the whiskers. And the mouth. Now, as I said, I pre-cut these. Let me just go ahead and put them down right here where I can get a hold of them. This stuff is very hard to work with. Let's see. That one I think is for the mouth. Cut these out to the same size. I believe I got them a little bit too long. Oh dear. I need a knife, which I didn't bring with me. Maybe I can just use my spatula. I'll try it and see if it works. Let's see. They're pretty tough. Okay, there we go. We need 3 whiskers on each side. There's 1. 2. It's okay, I got it. 3. All right. And then on the other side. It's really hard to get these straight, I tell you. That one is nice and straight. Poor bunny. Ran into some trouble. Got his little whiskers crooked. Let's see if I can straighten that one out a little more. This stuff is all tangled up when you take it out of the package, so it's really hard to get it straight. I think that these whiskers are a little bit too long. Get a little bit more off of it. There we go. And then you take your last licorice stick and you kind of put it down here for his mouth. And there we go. We have the bunny with 1 crooked whisker. But, okay, as the last step on our bunny, we're going to decorate his bow tie. This just makes it stand out a little bit more. And you can use any color gumdrops that you want to on there. Just space them evenly around the edges. Probably 3 per side. And one on the end. These are just coming out randomly, so I have no idea what color they'll be until I pull them out. And you might mesh them down just a little bit. Make sure they don't move. And there you have the bunny with his bow tie.